Three.
Okay, welcome everybody to the October 11th Town of Chestertown Board Meeting.
But they're not
Um,
listening.
I'm on.
No, they're not listening.
Linda, would you please do the roll call?
Hit the-
Supervisor Valentine,
Here.
Councilman Artisana,
Here.
Councilman Courtney,
Here.
Councilman Holdridge,
Here.
Councilwoman Smith.
Here.
Okay, let's rise for the pledge, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Wait, he's coming.
Okay. Okay, first item we have up on the
Public-
agenda is the, what's that?
Oh, public hearing.
No, we have the public hearing first.
Thanks, Ben.
Is a public hearing. So would somebody like to make a motion to go into for the public hearing for special districts?
I'll make the motion to open up the public hearing for special districts.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Notice of public hearing for special district. Please take notice, the town board, Town of Chester will hold a public hearing at the Town of Chester Town Hall, 1786 Kings Highway, Chester, New York, on Wednesday, October 11th, 2023, at 7 p.m. or soon thereafter, as the matter may be heard, for the purpose of reviewing pursuant to Section 202A of the town law, the assessment rolls prepared for the following special districts within the town: Walton Lake Estates Water, Surrey Meadow Water, Lake Hill Farms Water, Sugarloaf Hills Water, Fieldcrest Water, refuse maintenance, consolidated sewer benefit, sewer district 4A, sewer district 4A benefit areas, sewer district 4A operation and maintenance, sewer district 5, sewer district 5 benefit area, sewer district 5 operation and maintenance, Lake Region Sewer, District 7, Lake Region Sewer operation and maintenance, and sewer district 8, Ashford Estates Drainage District, Fox Hill Drainage District, Eagle Crest Drainage District, Warwick Ridge Drainage District, Woodridge Drainage District, Chesterdale Drainage District, and other special districts in the town of Chester. Copies of the special district assessment rolls are on file at the office of the town clerk and may be inspected there during normal business hours by any interested party. The town board will hear any persons who desire to comment either in favor or opposition to the adoption of said rolls at the time and place set forth herein. Written comments should be addressed to the town board, Town of Chester, 1786 Kings Highway, delivered to the clerk prior to the hearing. Order of the town board, Town of Chester, Linda Zappala, town clerk. Okay, it's open. Does anybody like to have any comments on special districts?
One thing, Bob, I'm not sure if it's relevant or not, but recently talking, I guess Tommy Bell is currently the chair of the Mudna Basin Commission, and I guess there's still discussion in the village that right now a lot of the sewer from Surrey Meadows, Sugarloaf, all comes into the village and then it's repumped several times till it gets down to the main plant at Mudna Basin. And there could be a possibility that there may be fees coming out the town in relationship to maintenance and electric for the cost, because they're basically taking the sewer that comes from other districts, comes through their town, and they're paying all the electric and doing all the maintenance on those pump stations. And they may be looking to be reimbursed for that. Is that a consideration with the special districts for additional cost for the future that may come at the town?
Well, we wouldn't be able to address that unless we had information from the village.
Okay, I'm just saying it may be something that's up and coming. It's not happening now, but it's just something that's been
Nothing
talked
we can
about.
really account for unless we hear something from them.
Okay, just keeping a heads up on it, that's all.
Okay.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good, Tom. Anybody else like to speak on special districts? Anybody online?
No comments online.
Going once, twice, 3 times? Okay, somebody like to close the public hearing?
I'll make the motion to close the public hearing for special
Do we have a
districts.
second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Okay. So we're up to public comment. Tom Becker, you're the first one, Tom. Oh, you're good. Okay. Larry Dyson here.
Good evening. Hope everybody enjoyed this beautiful day we had today. I'd like to bring up again the town noise pollution ordinance. It's been around, I've been asking for quite some time. I haven't heard anything new. Last I heard was that everyone on the town board was supposed to feed comments or let Scott know to start pursuing it. I don't know, maybe you let us know what the status of that is. Just as a reminder to the town board, on page 111 of the comprehensive plan, LU.16 states, regulate the amount of noise produced by land uses to minimize impacts on nearby residential properties. Additionally, LU.17 states, amend town code to ensure that it includes necessary provisions to protect residential areas from excessive noise generated by adjoining non-residential land uses, and that it also provides the means for enforcing the standards set forth within. Now, having said that, I'm not sure why the town board is dragging its feet on this. Also like to remind the town board that the town board has received complaints from residents adjacent from the Tin Barn about noise of music. So, there are people who are complaining about it. And, our comprehensive plan has recommended to the town board that they address that issue. And so far that hasn't been done. I just ask that the board do so.
Larry, let me ask you something. I know that the planning board in its capacity had done like somewhat of their own little study over there at Tin Barn, correct? I think you were part of that?
There was an on-site visit, that's correct. And, they generated noise that was supposedly at 85 decibels. Their monitor said it was 85. I know I have a monitor on my phone and it was only 65. But, so that was the limit of the study.
Did you guys, when you set it at 85 or whatever was on the meter, did you check in the other areas that were?
We
questioned?
went up on the bypass up there used the monitor to check that. We went over by the barn cider there and several different places.
And the readings at those places were significantly different?
The monitor that they had, the woman from the Tin Barn, what her meter was reading was different than mine. So it's subjective, I guess.
Okay.
Or not subjective, but there's a question.
Well, let's say
I just thought that the test, it was nice to do, but a little bit inconclusive. But what
let's
really
say-
matters,
Let's say your meter on your phone, you had a phone meter. And it
Yeah, I have
said
a phone meter.
65 at wherever.
right, and that was
So
different.
what, in regards to going to the other locations, what did it read?
It read, when I was over the Tin Barn, it read it at about, I think it was about 50 decibels. Up on the extension, it was, I don't know, 65, 70. When I was down at the bandstand, it read about 65. Their
So it was
meters.
65 at the bandstand and at the
Yeah,
road?
well, noise travels uphill. The noise monitor that Lauren from Tin Barn had said it was 85. Mine was 65. I'm not sure which one is right. But putting that aside, you're still getting complaints about the noise. Just because they did a test.
I'm trying to get a perspective.
Yeah,
Because I know the proposed, I think, limit in the amended, he was 65, correct?
right.
So if we're getting at 65 at the bypass at that point, which is very close, it's already a mitigated
Well, at
even
that,
by the new code.
at that test, you could barely hear the music. Okay. In fact, I should also remind you that the comprehensive plan has a decibel level of 65,
Okay.
whereas the town code says 85. That there's a disparity there. But, that's a test. That doesn't take away from the fact of reality when they actually have a band play, what the noise level is. I know people that live in Creamery Pond that have told me they hear the band in Creamery Pond. So it's going to be, that's more than 85. And, the people up across the road there on the extension, I forget the name of that road, they've complained several times about the noise. So I believe, we need to look at that and,
I'm just trying to put it into perspective.
No, I
I'm not
understand.
arguing.
No,
Just-
I understand.
I know that a lawnmower is around 90 or 95 decibels, so.
Well, let's put it this way. 85 is the starting point for hearing, causing ear damage. And we have why would we set our threshold at 85? At the point of starting, ear damage, you would think it'd be lower. Many towns around, you look at Monroe, I think their level is 70 or 65. And they have different levels depending on the time of day and the day of the week. What I had suggested in my proposed revisions is a recommendation. That doesn't mean that's what it has to be, but it's a starting point for discussion. So I'm more than willing to say, all right, well, maybe we make it 70 and not 65 as an example. I would just like the process to start, to do, review those changes and, get things going. That's all. That's all I'm asking.
If you don't mind if I can comment?
Sure.
Because I've made it clear before, I don't have any interest in changing it. I think we need to look at
Yeah.
the comprehensive plan. Just to give you some quick numbers, okay?
Mhm.
First, year one, when we implemented it, we had 71 total calls for noise.
Right.
Now, I don't have the breakdown for Tim Barn and whatnot, but for last year, in the same time period, we only had 50. So our noise ordinance is starting to work. So we have 19 less than we had prior year. And I think people are starting to understand it, because I'm of the belief still, you can change a number. If you're a bad neighbor, you're still gonna be a bad neighbor. And I think we have to look at it, the comprehensive plan, to your point, because they both gotta marry up, but I don't know changing the number is gonna fix the issue, personally. That's just, I'm one vote on this board.
I appreciate your opinion. I don't agree with it, but, I appreciate that. The fact that you have the complaints is, still an issue. But I would still like it to be addressed, that's all I'm asking on that. So,
Okay.
instead of just not doing anything, we should do something. And then maybe we decide not to change it. But at least we went through the process to determine whether it should be. That's really what I'm asking for. So, all right, thank you so much.
Thank you, Larry. Okay, next on the list, Susanna Devine.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm Susanna Devine. I live off of Bull Mill Road. You've heard of Rocky Road? There's 2 houses on it, but I'm one of them. Thank you, first of all, for establishing the Climate Change Advisory Committee. I'm an almost 40-year resident of Chester, and I haven't done much for Chester for many years. It's time. I don't know much about climate change. I only know what an average citizen knows. But I have to say that the people who have stepped up to volunteer for this committee are amazing. They are subject matter specialists, way beyond anything I think we could ever pay for. So again, thank you for doing the committee, but also I hope you can fund this committee for what they're asking, which is, I believe, $4,000. They've given a budget that's very specific that will not just be for a few things. It will be mostly for following the New York State Climate Smart Community Program. I don't know if you guys are very familiar with that, but this program was established by New York State to encourage municipalities all over the state to get climate smart. It's a rubric, it's a framework, it's like a paint-by-number plan that New York State has given us in order to make us more climate smart, less dependent on greenhouse gases, and gives you great grants and free assistance if we become one of these communities. Becoming one of these communities is free, but it requires person hours. And this particular committee has people on it who, as I said, are freaking amazing. So anyway, when you guys are reviewing the budget, I hope you view it positively. It's a fairly small number, dollar number, and these people are really anxious to make a change in Chester. And I'm proud that you guys voted for this, and I hope we really can do something wonderful. I think we can. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, climate change, Jane and EJ, together?
EJ's gonna pass.
Okay. Okay, so you guys are tag team.
Good evening. Hello again. My name is Jane Dysinger. I met most of you last night at the budget meeting. I'm here. Actually, Suzanne pretty much reiterated everything that I wanted to say, but I did also want to thank you for allowing us some time at last night's budget meeting. As Suzanne mentioned, we did submit a proposal asking for $4,000 so that we can start up some short-term and also some long-term initiatives. Our long-term goal, however, as Suzanne mentioned, is for Chester to become a climate-smart community. Many communities around New York State and around the country are doing that, and I just think it's the right thing to do for Chester. I'm not sure if the board had a chance to take a look at what we wrote up. I'd be glad to try and answer some questions, or being none at the moment, you can submit your questions to our recording secretary, Elizabeth Barrett Zahn, whose email address is down at the bottom. But we thank you for your consideration. Does
Okay.
anybody have any questions? Okay. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, is this Jenny?
Jennifer.
Jennifer? Okay, you're okay, Jennifer? Okay. Okay. I guess your question were answered already. Okay. That's yours. Okay. Okay, next up.
Can I have a comment, please, as public comment?
Sure.
Okay. The last meeting, a proposal by 3 board members that I thought should be brought to our attention, so it wouldn't be considered a closed door vote, approving to hire an investigator. To my point, this board has listened to harassment charges and ethics violations over this past year, which were properly filed by Larry Dysinger, Nicole Griffin, and Tracy Shue. They were legitimate harassment and ethic violations. These charges have caused serious issues within the town hall with jobs and disruption to get work done. The attorney fees have added up to thousands of dollars, yet there is no reprimand to the persons involved because they are elected officials or appointed. So it's kind of they're above the law right now. But back to the 3 board members who voted to hire this investigator for the case concerning the building inspector on frivolous charges, and it's a personal matter.
Scott, is anything that's being said right now able to be said publicly? Is this is all okay to be said? All right. Just want to make sure.
I want to hear from the town residents how their tax dollars are being wasted on this investigation. Brandon and Bob Courtney insist that they will be sued if something wrongdoing with the building inspector. As it is, you could be sued for any wrongdoing by any town employee during work hours. So I think that it's just spending tax dollars frivolously, and there shouldn't be any more investigation to this. Thank you.
Okay.
In response to that, there were possible violations to the code that under our purview as representatives of the town, we have a duty to conduct an investigation to figure out how to proceed. This has been explained to us by our attorney. We are within our legal right to do what we're doing, and it is in the best interest of the town to cover our bases and make sure there's no liability. So
You're
we don't
looking
get
for
sued.
liability that could be at any point if some wrongdoing is done by an employee. It's not just, and these are just, it's a personal matter and it's a frivolous case.
It's
There's
not
no
a personal
charge.
matter.
It certainly is.
It absolutely isn't. It was
It was
between,
at,
the incident was between two employees of the town. It was
correct.
explained to us multiple times with you in the room by our attorney who's sitting right there that it is within our right to investigate
And if you
it.
think that you can't be sued for charges by an employee, you're wrong. You don't know
What
that.
are you saying? What are you saying?
If something happens with another
Okay,
employee,
all right. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to move on to the next item on the agenda. Last night at the meeting for the budget, the chief had mentioned in his budget presentation that year in, year out, he asks for a generator at what used to ask for here at the town hall, but now we're asking for the generator at the senior building to provide emergency shelter in case of an emergency. That's the most suitable building for to have an emergency shelter. Should we have a natural disaster or any other disaster? And I have to agree with the chief, and I think this board probably agrees that we should prepare for those future events. So with that being said, that we are in receipt of American Rescue Recovery Plan funds, which we have been using on certain water districts for improvements and serving certain areas of the towns. But I think this generator would be a purchase that would be inclusive of all taxpayers in Chester. And I think it would be a good idea for us to disperse funds on that. So I don't have numbers, of course. We have looked into that in the past, and our town engineer, I'm sure, has old numbers on it and old specifications because we had tried grant funding on it. But I would like to ask this board at this time to authorize us to have the town engineer specify the generator that we would like and produce a quote for it, perhaps off state bid. I'm sure it's available with the installation for the senior building. So is there somebody who would like to make a motion to that effect?
Motion.
Do we have a second?
I'll second.
And that would be subject to use of ARPA funds for that. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And that be for the generator, the senior center and maybe the police department.
The police already have their own.
Oh, they have?
They already have one, yeah. So in the new building that was done. Okay, we have to accept the minutes of 9:13 and 9:27. Would somebody like to make a motion to that effect?
I'll make the motion to accept the minutes of 9:13 and 9:27.
Okay, second?
Second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Next thing, adopt the assessment rolls. Those are the special district assessment rolls, correct, Linda? So special district assessment rolls that we had the public hearing on moments ago. Somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make that motion to adopt the assessment roll.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, we have a new hire for the highway department from John Riley. I'd like to let the town board know that we have interviewed 3 candidates for a second time to fill the vacancy left by Dave Stoddard in the department. And I have chosen Nick Muller to fill that vacancy. Nick will be starting on October 16th, 2023. If you have any questions, feel free to call. Nick's application is attached, HEO position. Nick is coming from another municipality, actually. He works currently or was working, I guess, at the Village of Washingtonville DPW. So we have a motion to hire.
I'll
Nick.
make the motion to hire Nick Muller for the highway department.
Second,
Seconded.
all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Of course, that's effective October 16th. I don't know if they've done the paperwork yet. Okay. What else do we have? So you guys probably noticed from the original agenda, I had modifications and bills on there, but we had a rather lengthy visit with our accountant today. She was here all day and doing some journal entries and modifications back and forth, and we don't have those 100% prepared. So in light of us having a budget meeting tomorrow, I will offer those up to the board tomorrow for an approval.
Bring them over there.
I'll bring them over, yep. So you guys, the bills are all done. We just have to do the mods, and I don't want to pay the bills without having the modifications done first, because that's our new procedure since we, are revamping the finance system here. I do have, just while we're on that topic, we do have replies from several of the bookkeepers that were on the county list. And some of them look like they have good qualifications. So I'll be reaching out to them to set up some interviews with them, because the time is now. We have, I think tomorrow is the last day for them to return. So, okay, what else do we have? We have education requests. So we have Town of Chester from the Water Department. I'm asking for your approval for Operator John Mardula to attend the water seminar on Thursday, November 9th. The location of the seminar is at the Town of Walkill Country Club. These seminars are held for us for further education in the field of water operator, and also gives us credit towards our license. We're required to get 30 credits every 2 years by the New York State Department of Health. Chris Cox. So I'd like to make a motion to send John Mardula on the 9th to training.
I'll make that motion, St. John.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, I have another one from the chief. Chief Dan Dollinger would like to send our department firearms instructors, Sergeant Diagnese, Officer Calderon, to a one-day Glock armorer's course. The course will teach them how to safely use and maintain our department handguns. It will be held in Poughkeepsie on January 11th, 2024. The registration fee for the course is $250 each, and it was in the budget request. I'm getting worried now. They got to learn how to use these?
It's going to save us from having to send them out for repairs.
Gotcha.
I'm doing it now.
I'm only kidding, Jan. Okay, would somebody like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, motion carried. Do you have any more education requests? No? Okay, we have some reports. Here's the Fusco report. Greens at Chester discussing water tanks and water system. Now that the Transportation Corp has been established, requesting additional information on the system, and the SWIP systems are working well. Capelli Sports SWIP system is working properly. The landscape has been improved. The senior park will be installed in November, so the senior citizens will be able to exercise all they would like there. So that would be good. Walton Lake Water, the WIA grant should be considered in November. Sugarloaf Water System well improvements are going before the Orange County Department of Health and the DEC right now, and they're moving forward. We've been getting a considerable amount of correspondence on that. Planning Board, Bell Station, flex space for plumbers, electrician, etc. is under review. The Baroda Cluster Subdivision is under review, beginning on yield study. Fusco team out to witness representative soil testing. 1125 Kings Highway, there's a lot line change that's mostly agricultural. O'Reilly subdivision is the conditional final extension. And Sparkle City Comics is a proposed 20,000 square foot warehouse. Nothing specific, only a work session. That's it on that. We have a consumption report from Heidi Schmidt. Revenue and consumption report, a water district's billable revenue and consumption report, April through September. Walton Lake, $52,000 revenue, 5 million gallons of water, 5,600,000. Surrey Meadows, $44,000, million gallons of water, 6,800,000 gallons of water. Lake Hill Farm, 79,000, that's 13,855,000 gallons. Sugarloaf Hills, $33,000, 6,119,000 gallons. And Fieldcrest, 12,290, and consumption is 1,229,000. Let's see how much water everybody uses. Police, Chester Police Department remained active in the community in September. There were 284 calls for service, and they patrolled 17,602 miles during the month. The department made 13 arrests, 10 charged with operating a vehicle with suspended license or registration, 1 charged with criminal contempt, 1 driving while intoxicated, 1 arrest on an outstanding warrant. Non-criminal, 27 residential commercial automatic fire alarms, 26 medical calls, 15 reports of suspicious persons, vehicles or activity, 14 hazardous conditions, trees or wires down, 9 welfare checks, 2 motor vehicle crashes with injuries, 10 without injuries, and 2 involving a deer. I'm sure that number is going to jump up. Community policing, that 2 house security checks and 1,205 business checks. Sergeant Dugan and Officers Bird, Weinstein, and Stack and Rain continue to be available for child passenger safety seat checks and installations. Sergeant Vitale worked on with the Sugarloaf Chamber of Commerce a plan for the Fall Festival, which we already had last week. Big success. There was nice police presence there. Sergeant Vitale worked. We continue to assign school resource officers to the academy and the elementary school. Officers Perez, DeLuca, and Donato are fulfilling this assignment. We were assigned to foot and UTV patrol to Chester Academy varsity football games in Chester Commons Park on the 8th and the 30th. Officer Perez attended the annual homecoming dance at Chester Academy on the 30th. There's a whole ton of training and other miscellaneous stuff and scheduling here. It's always available for review. Very detailed. Animal control. During the month of September, we had 3 calls for service of deceased or injured deer. 2 of the calls for service were for found dogs. I guess they weren't lost, they were just found. One of the calls was for an injured groundhog. 1 call was for a sick raccoon. 1 for abandoned kittens, and 1 for a bear crossing the road. And Warwick Valley Humane Society report is attached. It's available if anybody to see it. Any other reports on it? Let's do the water. I got that. Correspondence, we got some announcements today. Well, here's our mortgage tax receipts. We had a really lackluster mortgage tax. And this last month, we only collected $17,000 in mortgage tax. Normally it's around 35 to 40, but I did look on multiple listing because I was curious about that. And Chester only has like a handful of houses available for sale. The inventory for sales is relatively small. I mean, really small. So that all extrapolates back down to this number. People don't close on houses and take out mortgages. We don't collect taxes to help fund the budget. Penny Social. Okay, we have a Penny Social Sunday, October 15th, 2023. Wonderful prizes, exciting specials, includes admissions $5, includes 2 sheets of tickets. Additional sheets are available, 6 for $5 or $2 each. Town of Chester Recreation Building, 81 LaRue Road, Chester. Doors open 1 p.m. Calling starts at 2:30. There are refreshments, and this is to benefit the Chester Historical Society. Please come out and support them. Okay. So yes, unfortunately, the Belleville community has canceled the October 14th open house because
Oh.
of the threat of inclement weather. Yep, they'll let us know when the next opportunity is going to arise. Okay, chalk it up. What's that? That one's
That was
passed. Okay. Chalk is gone. Okay. Wreaths Across America. Orange County Veterans Cemetery is hosting Wreaths Across America Saturday, December 16th at noon. If you would like to help us reach our goal of nearly 4,000 wreaths, please send your donation to OC VC WAA 111 Craigville Road, Goshen. Make checks payable to Nom Knights MC. Questions, call Dave Andrushak, 494-3768. It's very hard to read that. Okay, Rock Tavern to Sugarloaf upgrade. This is the transmission lines that have been working on for the last year or so. Please accept this update from Transco. The upgrade project includes replacement of the 115-volt transmission line to New Windsor. Since 2020, Transco has worked with local communities, neighbors, state officials, regulators, interest party on the roof. Construction on the RTS just started June 2022. The summer crews completed and energized the new modern transmission monopole structures and lines and rebuilt the substation in Chester, strengthening the electric grid in Orange County. Crews recently completed removing project access roads and project restoration. So we're pretty much through that project. That's all you have there. Okay. That's it. I don't have anything else either. That was the thing for them. So, reports, goes. Okay, so I guess we can start the town board comments. Tony, do you have any comments down there?
No, I'm pretty good.
No?
Voting is coming up, so.
I'm good. I was gonna bring up the generator. if you already did
Okay.
it, so.
Cindy?
The pickleball courts are complete. I don't know if anybody here
Fence
has.
is up, looks nice.
Fence is up.
Yeah.
I put the holder up the other day. Everything is all in place, so I don't know if anybody here has looked at it, but it's complete.
Okay, Brandon, what do you
And
have?
I also
Oops,
just,
sorry.
I'm still looking into finding someone to brush hog Nash View. Yeah. It's, I didn't get a definite yes or no yet, but I do have one person interested, yeah. Okay, that's it.
Okay, Brandon, what do you have?
I wanted to put out an RFP for the comprehensive plan to find a planner for it. I did speak to one person from, I can't remember the, Nelson, Pope, and Voorhees. They said that they would be willing to come into our next meeting on the, when is it, the 26th, to go over, see what we need and also what they can offer and their rates and everything. But I wanted more options than just one. That's all I've been able to find so far. So I was hoping that we could put out an RFP for that.
Okay, somebody want to make a motion to post an RFP for a planner for the comprehensive plan committee?
Motion.
That motion.
Okay, second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I have some others here. On September 26th, I was alerted that the Chester Republican Committee held a meeting at the Performing Arts Center, and I had information that they didn't pay the fee for it because it was switched from the senior center last minute. Did we get a fee from the committee afterwards?
No, we did not.
Are we
Okay, so
going
Our
to?
town code says political committees can use the senior center or the town hall for political committee as long as they're offered to all parties. The fact was that night it was double booked at the senior center, which was a free venue for the committee to use with the proper insurance in place, which we have. And that committee was double booked with the Village of Chester's use of the senior center for their planning board meeting. So it was unlikely that we would ask the planning board meeting that was scheduled quite far out to relocate or not have their meeting. So I took it upon myself to direct the meeting to be held at the PAC. So the Performing Arts Center, when the code was written, did not exist. We did not own the building. There was no Performing Arts Center in Chester. So I felt it was a reasonable move, and it did not implicate the town in any way, shape, or form. And the town is not at a loss for it. The building was not booked. It was not being used. There was no staffing necessary for the building. And that was a call that I made, and I stand by the call.
So it's available for all political parties?
Yes, it would be.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think it's something that we need to add to the code, like we have the senior building and the town hall here that are in the code, because the code was written so long ago, we didn't own that building. And as a matter of fact, the senior building at the time wasn't even where it is now. It was next door into the library. So for all intents and purposes, I guess we shouldn't be meeting there either, right? But it's a town building, so. If we wanted to amend that, Scott, would that be an amendment to we have to amend the code, right? So, okay, we could write that up and address it. And I think it should be done. I think it's only fair. And,
Gotcha.
Okay.
Just some others. I received a, what's it called? I was looking into liability insurance for similar reasons, and I found that the Golden Age Club is indemnified by the town on their certificate of liability insurance. And I was under the impression that the policy, I think, was made 2 years ago or decided on 2 years ago, that these sorts of organizations need to indemnify the town, not the other way around.
so what happened was when we changed insurance companies, our new insurer informed us that they could insure the Golden Age Club under the town's policy at no additional cost. That the underwriter for our new insurance company would indemnify the town for the Golden Age Club. So when that was done, we informed the Golden Age Club that they wouldn't have to have their additional policy that they had normally carried. So
we're not paying for it?
it's no additional charge on our policy. It's included in our policy on the coverage.
And was that something that the board had to sign off on, or was it just under the purview of the supervisor?
It's in the policy. So the town's policy covers the Golden Age Club.
Okay.
So just like the town's policy covers the yoga club, the yoga classes and different things that we have instructors in for, our policy also covers those as long as they're town-sponsored events. So I don't even know how many, there's probably a dozen or more of them that the town's policy covers.
So if something happens to, I guess the Golden Age Club is just an example at this point. If something happens to somebody from that organization on town property or at a town event or something, are we liable for that, since now we're indemnifying
We're
them?
not liable. The insurance company would cover the claim.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Just like if you're walking in the town park and you trip over something in the town park, they're going to cover a claim.
Mhm.
If somebody's playing ball on the ball field and they get hurt on the thing, they're going to cover the claim. It's the same exact instance as that.
All right.
So,
I just want to make sure. And then finally, we all received an email from Linda regarding the situation with the senior center from Harry F. Rotolo and Sons regarding the fire alarm.
that fire alarm, we had, when the phone service was switched to fiber optic, we lost our phone line on that. And we have been going back and forth with Rotolo and with P&N Alarms, doing quotes back and forth. The most recent quote we got was from P&N, was for less than half the price of Rotolo. So we chose to renew with P&N Alarm, who's also one of our carriers.
Right.
So,
But when
they
did
haven't
this,
performed the work yet?
when did this happen? Like, when did we lose our line?
I don't know exactly. Nicole, do
Well,
you know
when was
we
it with
lost the line?
fiber optics that
Hmm?
they were doing?
Yeah.
Right, so that was only, what, 6 weeks ago or so?
I don't know the exact date. We can provide that for you if you'd like.
But I just don't, so, I mean, the email from Gretchen Babcock was on July 28th. So I'm just concerned because from what it sounds like, we haven't had a working fire alarm system in the senior center for months now.
The building has fire alarms inside. The dialer wasn't working.
So what is that, I
The
guess?
Alarms would go off in the building, but they would not dial. It wouldn't dial.
And what is, it wouldn't go out to the station.
It wouldn't go to whatever call center would receive the call. So.
It just sounds like a problem to me. I just want to make sure everybody's safe
Well,
in the
it's a
senior
problem.
center.
It's been scheduled to be installed by P&N Alarms.
Well, I just don't,
Okay.
I don't
Brandon, get to your
personally-
point, Brandon.
I don't
Get to your
personally
point.
like-
You're gonna sit here all night. and
I don't know
call
why
and
you're talking
who
like
else you
that.
wanna call out tonight, huh?
I don't know why are you
Who
acting
else
like
you wanna
that?
call out
Why?
tonight? You wanna start- You got a list of people you wanna
I just
call
want
out?
to understand because I didn't find out, or the rest of the board didn't find out about this until only last week. And it seems like a serious issue to me. I just don't understand why it wasn't disclosed to the rest of the board or to the town at all.
Well, maybe it didn't get disclosed because it was overlooked at the time. Okay, maybe that's why.
It was overlooked.
It was overlooked, yeah. So maybe if you stopped in a building and asked a few questions, maybe you would find out.
How,
You know,
how would I be able to
there's
ask a
you know,
question
lot of
about something
things-
I don't know
there's a lot of
about?
things that go on in the building and a lot of things that go on in government here. A lot of bills go through, a lot of proposals go through all day long, every day. So once in a while, something can slip. Okay, whether you like to believe it or not, it can happen.
This seems like a really big thing to let slip.
Okay.
I just think we should be a little bit better at, advising the rest of the town board and the town residents, for that matter, about something I think is serious. I understand. I'm happy to know and learn that the fire alarms are actually working in
We
the,
didn't know that it was disabled initially. You understand?
until when?
When it was changed out, we didn't know that it wasn't dialing. There was nothing telling us it's not dialing because there was no dial. Do you understand? So that the alarm is all functioning in the building, but it's not dialing. So nobody knew that it wasn't dialing.
Until when, I
we got-
guess.
Until Gretchen reached the back.
Okay.
And she gave me a horrible quote with no equipment, nothing listed on it. It's a ridiculous price.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Also, 17M repaving, according to the DOT, is supposed to happen in mid-October next week, but obviously that can be pushed back at any time. And I wanted to thank JJ Westerveld, I saw in the paper, and the Sugarloaf Historical Society for refurbishing that historical marker. That's it for me.
Okay. Does anybody need an executive session or anything?
Yes, motion to move into executive session.
Second.
Bob, first, before you go into executive session?
Okay, quick.
It's in relationship to Green to Chester. I was just curious to whether the town had received any notification.
I
yet.
got a notice in my box today
Okay.
that the New York State DEC has accepted the application for the water and it would replace the old application. And they're drawing, I have the thing, I can give it to you if you want to see it. It
I think
shows
there's
the
a
two
third-
wells that they'll be using for the 80 some houses that are in phase
Okay.
one.
I think they have like a 30-day time frame right now where you could comment.
I don't know what, all I have is a notice from the DEC
Okay, I'm
that
just
says
going,
that we have been informed of the permit is being issued.
okay. Because right now, I think they've requested of the village, they've given them 30 days to comment. I was wondering if the town would like to possibly have Al look at what's being proposed by the DEC as far as special conditions to protect the residents of the town of Chester that may be influenced by this, so that so we can make sure that the DEC is doing the right thing for the residents. That's all I
I will
want.
gladly share that. Al has a copy of it. It
Okay.
came to everybody, so,
No, I just
I'm
want to make
sure
sure you
that,
got
you
it.
know,
That's all.
yep, I'll
Sorry
make
to
sure,
take up your
I'll
time.
make sure to mention it to him.
Thank you.
just trying to protect the residents.
Yeah.
Could I add something on the senior centers? For the senior center, we're doing the generator, but sometimes the buildings are, there's a risk category in the buildings. So just emergency shelter, sometimes there's other things that are triggered. So we might have to look at just the design
Okay,
of the building.
yeah, Al had something drawn up on it for an emergency shelter, so he must have something in the
Yeah,
file.
and I know we did the generator.
Yeah.
Start that point.
Okay,
Okay, we'll work on that. Okay, motion to go in executive session.
I motioned.
Second,
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, motion to come out of executive session.
I'll make that motion to come out of executive session.
Second,
Seconded.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay,
Okay.
any action?
Yes, one more issue that you have to recuse yourself from.
Okay.
So I, as in charge, I am authorizing the payment of the deductible to Marie DiNardo versus the town of Chester.
Okay,
Anybody?
that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Nay.
Recuse myself. Motion carried.
Anything else?
Make a motion to close. the
That's it,
meeting.
motion to close,
I'll
make
make the
that
motion
motion.
to close the meeting.
I'll second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.